Greetings and salutations. I'm Audley, Stephenson. I'm the Vice President of the National Basketball League of Canada, Canada's longest standing professional basketball league. We've been doing this 10 years and we're so proud. I'm also proud to be here on the Jesse T Show. We'll be talking about audaciousness, boldness, living your best authentic selves, all right here on the Jesse T Show. Stay tuned.
The mighty, the powerful, the understanding, Audley Stephenson. Thank you for coming back online.
I appreciate that. I was saying before, I've never been called the mighty and powerful, and now you got mighty, powerful, understanding. That's awesome. I feel my day's starting off great, buddy. Thanks.
Listen, it's a beautiful day to be alive, man. And we were just working through some technical difficulties, man. And so we're back at it. So let's jump right back into it. Who are you? What do you do? And how do you show up in the world?
First up, wear a bunch of hats. I'm a podcaster, so I can understand when stuff like technical difficulties happen, or Wi-Fi goes out on us, or mics drop, or whatever. So I've been there before, and I understand. Again, I wear a bunch of hats. I'll start off with my podcast. It's the Audacious Living Podcast, and it was founded, really birthed out of just an extension of how I've lived my life. I had gotten to a point during the midst of the height of the COVID pandemic when we really didn't have a whole lot of anything. And like a lot of people, I sort of looked at myself and look inwards really. And the one comment, and I had it, and Jesse, what it was, I just had this desire, this need, this want to give. That's really what it came from. And I started thinking about, well, what does that look like? What can that be? And I've been podcasting for almost 15 years, so this platform or medium wasn't new to me. And I figured, okay, so where can I take this, and what do I want it to look like? I spent a lot of time in the professional basketball space. I've had tons of basketball podcasts, NBA podcasts. I've done urban hip hop music. I've done a bunch of stuff, but I wanted this to be different. And as I was doing that searching, and I was really looking in, the theme, the common theme that kind of was prevalent throughout my life, and I kind of looked back and looked at sort of my journeys and all my ups and downs, accomplishments. I looked at everything. The one common theme, or that red thread, the terminology you'll hear sometimes, was that everything I'd done was on the strength of being audacious. I was prepared to take a step. I was prepared to be bold. I was courageous enough to overcome whatever fear, doubt, or uncertainty was lingering in my head, to take that bold, audacious move. And so that's really what started the journey. I'm really much encouraging people to live their best audacious lives ever. And I want to really clarify, what I mean when I say that, because, being the most audacious person isn't the one that's the loudest when you come in the room, or the most, outgoing. It can be so, certainly those things, but that's not what we're talking about. Because if you're audacious enough and brave enough to be the person that you're supposed to be, take that step. Write that book, start that podcast. The impact that you can have on other people are massive. And so you're doing it, as much as you're doing it for yourself, you are impacting other people. So that's a big part of my world. I'm also the proud commissioner, I'm formerly the deputy commissioner of NBL Canada, National Basketball League of Canada. I've been promoted to the vice president of basketball operations, which is something I'm extremely proud about, because 10 years ago, we started on a journey as a league to provide a platform for Canadian basketball players to live their dreams right in their home country. And so 10 years later, we're doing this. Really happy about our upcoming 10th season. And I'm just I'm proud to be along for the ride. I'm blessed. Jesse, I'm a blessed guy. I've got no complaints. And I feel fortunate to be able to do the things I love and impact the people I can, and share with people like yourself. So again, thank you for being here, man. Let me come in to hang out with me, man.
Dude, I love your energy. I love your audaciousness, and you're welcome. And thank you for sharing time with me. And so as far as this audacious lifestyle and this embodiment, you embody it. It's interesting because we kind of grow into what we're meant to do, and your name is Audley, and that's the first three letters of audacious. And like, you could be funny, I have a friend, she calls herself Pamelicious. You can call yourself audacious, that's your name, right? So how did you step into this? Were you always outgoing, energetic, willing to overcome obstacles, or did this come from a place like what we talk about, the superhero journey, where you started off one way and something pivotal happened, you're like, screw this, I'm just going to live boldly? Like, where did this come from?
I think it's just a combination of a bunch of things, Jesse. I don't think it's just one kind of thing that you're using the superhero analogy. I don't think you just drink a potion or you get hit by a bolt of lightning and all of a sudden you can run fast or jump high or whatever. For me, it's a combination of a whole bunch of things that I looked at and said, okay, because there are instances where I didn't respond where I could have. But I learned from that. And I said, okay, next time when I'm faced a situation, how can I respond differently? What can I do better? What can I do different? So I don't think it's necessarily one particular thing. Having said that, there are some core aspects of being audacious that are part of me that I was naturally gifted with, which I'm truly appreciative of, because I think that those things are the foundation of building blocks of who I am. Joke, you mentioned, play on the words, Audley and audaciousness. It's purely coincidental. I mean, someone asked me the other day, did you name the podcast after you? And I was about to say, well, no, I didn't, but actually I did, because that's who I am, right? So it worked out that way. And what we call ourselves is, it just again, it's a nice coincidence. Ironically enough, just a couple of days ago, I looked up I don't know if you've ever done this. I've looked up the meaning of my name. I never thought to do that before. And it's old English background. And the name Audley means old friend. Wow. And I just thought that it was so fitting, because that's how I kind of live my life, and that's how I show up to people. And I want to be there to support people and be there to help them and give in any way that I possibly can. So, it's just things have a way of coming together really nicely. And again, I'm just living me, right?
Dude, I love it. And it really, you really do embody it. Like, just your energy and just how you move through life is audacious, but in a very beautiful, elegant way. I mean,
thank you.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's like you were talking about earlier. Some people like are braggadocious, or some people like, look at me, look how big I can do things. But like, it just seems like it just naturally flows with you. And so were you always in this space of creating and wanting to build things and being an entrepreneur, or did you find that path as well through your journey?
Yeah, it's a path that I found. I've gone through life, and it's interesting when people talk about, well, what have you done and how to get to this point. I don't think I've done anything spectacular, to be quite honest with you. I think I've just kind of been me, and I don't think I've gone through any sort of groundbreaking or earth-shattering experience that made me change the direction of my life. I think everyday life, things just kind of happen. But I think what makes it's our response to things, Jesse, right? It's how we respond to these situations. Four or five different people will go through the exact same experience, exact same thing, but their response dictates what it looks like on the other side. So I think where I've been able to capitalize and do really well on is that response to situations. Not to say that the response in the moment was always the right one, but even if it wasn't the right one, I still learned from that. I still was able, okay, when this happens again, I know what I'm not going to do, right? Versus what I am going to do. Yep. So it's just an embodiment of just again, a whole bunch of things that have come into my way. Like I said, I started podcasting 2006, 2007. I mean, it's like the medium wasn't even heard of. And to give you an example, me and a buddy of mine, we were huge basketball fans, NBA basketball. At that time, this was long before, Raptors were winning championships. Vince Carter was still in diapers. It was just, basketball was just here. And right. There was a small pocket of us that were real big fans of the sport. And so my buddy and I decided, hey, let's do an NBA focused podcast. And it's funny now when you look at it, when you go back, because you're thinking, yeah, that was at a time when the Raptors weren't good. No one cared about basketball, and no one even knew what podcasting was.